Welcome back to my karting channel. The event tonight was Heatseeker, so it was a 10-minute qualifying, followed then by 3 10-minute races, all separate. So this was race 2. I didn't bother uploading the qualifying or race 1 because nothing really happened in them. In race 1 I did a little bit of a spin, but other than that nothing happened because I was basically just catching up for the entire of the race. So I ended up finishing in 9th after a few overtakes from spinners and slow karts. That's where I got my overtakes done, so yeah, there wasn't really much of a point of uploading it. Whereas in this one there was a lot more action. So as you can see, we're gridding up now, just trying to get the final bit of heat into my tyres, just get the temps up. And I was put on the wrong side of the grid, but it was all fixed and I got into 5th space. So lights out, and as you can see I have an alright start, but then the door opens and I slot right in because the door was left open, so I just thought I might as well go for it, and now I'm into 4th place. Now my goal is to just try and chip away as many places as possible, and before the race I had a plan of trying to get to 1st because it was a reverse grid, so I knew that I had obviously the skill and speed to get into 1st. So it was just a matter of time whether I could do it in 10 minutes, because 10-minute races are very short and snappy, so I was just wondering whether I could actually get the positions done. But you'll be able to see later on in the race whether I actually do. So as you can see, since the start I have overtaken 2 drivers. I got 1 off the start and then 1 just along the straight on the upstairs, as you can just see before. It was a pretty nice overtake, to be fair. Just the driver was fair racing, just left the door open but gave me enough space, so then it was a good battle, and then I managed to just get right through. Bit of a lock up into there, just not very good, bit of a mistake from me, and now the gap's opened up again, so I'm just trying to close that gap down. So this is Ronnie that I'm fighting with now, and as you can see he's defending me. So I just try and get the better exit out of here, but he gets a good exit, so I couldn't get the speed that I wanted down the straight. But as you can see, we're going side by side through some of these corners. He goes very deep, but I couldn't get the speed to get alongside him. Just look for the move, didn't think it was a good idea, so put myself back into my position. Bit of a bump through there, and just following him along through here. Just goes defensive. And then a mistake happens, and then George just goes into the barrier, so I get the position off George. And then later on in the session you can actually see Ronnie. Ronnie gets the penalty. Ronnie and Johnny, 2 very similar names. So yeah, Ronnie gets the penalty because it's just a bit of contact, because the marshals were pretending to be BIKC marshals, just we're obviously practicing for BIKC, which is next week, so that is deemed as an unfair overtake, I think, and yeah, he got a penalty for that. So even if I stayed in this position for the rest of the race, I would have finished in 1st. And you'll be able to see in a second, coming along the back straight, you'll see a board being shown up to Ronnie, and it's just as penalty points, I think, and that is basically, you could see Ronnie not very happy with it because he lifts his arm up, as you can see here, lifts his arm up, but then I go for the little dive bomb, but he cuts off. He goes very deep, and now I'm just trying to get alongside him, but we've both got the speed, and he fair racing, leaves the door, and I just slot right through to take 1st position. So my aim for the start of the race has come true. I'm very happy about that, because in the first race I finished 9th. So this was just, in order to get on the podium overall, I needed to get as many points as possible, because they were running the F1 style points. So to get points you have to finish in the top 10. First gets 25, so on and so forth if you know F1. And so I finished the first race in 9th, so I got 2 points. And finishing this race I got 25 because I won. And you'll be able to see in a second, George Sherlock comes flying past me because he had to get off the So I don't know what happened, but he had to go. So he just said he had to go. You don't know if you can hear it, but in the car I could hear him shouting, "I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go." So as you can see here, we're still under the yellow flags, just holding the pack up a little bit because obviously yellow flag's got to go walking pace, and it's actually yellow for quite a bit. So I'm not sure why. I didn't see anything that happened, so it must have happened on another part of the track. So it's just going along walking pace, and the track goes green, I think, in the hairpin section or around somewhere in the combat kart section. So as you can see here, coming along here now, the lights go green. I didn't realise for a second, but then I realised I had to go because I had a kart right on my bumper. So I just put the throttle down as quick as possible, and I kept position off the start, just checking behind me, make sure there's no one there, and there was a bit of a gap actually, so I just took that to my advantage and didn't have to defend. Now coming through finish line, checker flags waved, and I have won this race, got 25 points. So yeah, that was a good result for me. Starting in 5th, managed to chop myself all the way down to 1st. I was pretty happy with that. So now just driving back to the pit lane, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and help me get to 400 subscribers by the end of the year, because that's my aim at the moment. I'm trying to get to 400 by the end of 2024. I'm currently on 330 something, so I just need 70 more and then I've got that 400. So make sure you subscribe and join my journey. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.